Prompting is the key to turning an idea in your head into an actual image. The number of images you can create is as infinite as your imagination. When bringing your idea into reality, every word counts, and you need to know which words to put into the prompt box. We've already done prompting in Fooocus and started doing basic prompts in Automatic1111, so this will be primarily a review of things we've already learned, building confidence in the use of Automatic1111 as we transfer the skills we used in Fooocus. So now we're in a fresh Automatic1111 session. Before we start prompting, let's review the structure we will use to write our prompts. First, character and object. Second, context. Third, background. Then, if needed, we'll add some modifiers, then some enhancers, and then we'll focus on our style. You do not need to use every part of this structure for your images, but this process will allow you to think through everything that can be added to create a powerful prompt. Let's start with a real-world example of how we can use this structure. Let's say there is a book publishing company that needs a concept art image for one of its books. This company needs an image of the medieval streets in their story, with one scene including a bakery. They want it in an artistic style. Now we can use our prompt structure to create a prompt for this project. Let's focus this image on a bakery in a medieval setting. For our character object, we will choose bread. The context will be on a table. The background will be a medieval bakery. We're not going to do any modifiers in this one because we want to focus on the bread and bakery. And same with the enhancers. We want to keep it simple, so we will not do that on this specific example. For the style, in Fooocus, we check a box to choose a style, but in Automatic1111, we type in our style. In this case, we'll say oil painting. So our prompt is simple: bread on a table in front of a medieval bakery, oil painting. Let's generate. So this image looks great. We've got bread clearly fresh out of like a natural brick oven here in the side. It's got more of a painting feel, doesn't feel photorealistic. So we've accomplished our goal. Notice that the image looks like a painting. Like Fooocus, we have the ability to change the style of an image, but in Automatic1111, we type the style into the prompt to get these results. Let's look at another example. Let's say a clothing company wants us to generate some stylistic product images centered on a yellow hoodie, their newest product. In addition, they have informed us that this advertising campaign has the theme of anime. We'll use the same structure we used in our last prompt. To add some visual interest, let's set this hoodie on an ancient rock. So to use our structure, the character object will be the yellow hoodie. The context will be hanging on an ancient rock. We are not adding a background or modifiers and enhancers because we want this to focus solely on the product. The style we use will be anime. Therefore, our prompt is a simple one: yellow hoodie hanging on an ancient stone in an anime style. So here is our image of a yellow hoodie hanging on an ancient rock. We can't really see the hanger, but we can see that it is hanging. It's got that ancient vibe to it. Before we move on, let's review one important topic. Remember our discussion of word weight when we were prompting in Fooocus? Just like in Fooocus, the parts of your prompt that are closer to the front take priority over those at the end. So if some of your prompt ideas aren't showing up in your image, move the section you want to prioritize within the prompt closer to the beginning of the prompt. Even though this will change the structure that we've suggested, it's an important thing to do if you're wanting a specific result. In this lesson, we used our prompt structure to craft a specific image. Then we used the skills we learned in 2 real-world situations. Finally, we briefly reviewed weighting prompts. In the next lesson, we will be learning more about applying these styles in Automatic1111.